In this video, I want to discuss about this game, Horace. It's an indie platformer for Nintendo Switch and unfortunately less known out there in the gaming community. It's such a shame that a game like this uh, it's not generally known out there in the gaming community and it's not appreciated at its value. So here we have a description for the game, and as you see here, this game will bring a smile to any gamer who enjoys the 8 and 16-bit era. This is impressive. Anyway, the game has 22 levels. It's a huge game, and it has 5.8 gigabytes. You can play it on TV, handheld mode, tabletop mode, and you can use Switch Pro controller. It was released in at the end of 2020. Now let's go and let's discover it here on Nintendo Switch OLED, and let's see what it has to offer. Here we have some options. The audio is it's off in my video anyway, and let's start here. Anyway, Horace is difficult as a game. You will have to work here to finish your levels, and in my opinion anyway, this game is a masterpiece. It's brilliantly made with an amazing graphic and story and feelings. Everything is vibrant here, as I said, starting with the story and with everything that has to transmit to the player. So you play with this robot that will be taken into a very wealthy family, and the story will begin from there. You'll receive some quest or a command from your creator, and something will happen. You'll be out there in the world, and you will see how beautiful the game is. Anyway, you will evolve and you will be able to climb all walls, ceilings, and so on. This is very interesting. I know this pixelated approach uh, may uh, may not be the best option for everyone, but this is a tribute, as I said, to that 16-bit era. And anyway, everything is vibrant here, and you will see that every level has such a rich um, uh, surrounding and elements, and you will see how beautiful this game is. Anyway, it's well made, it's well optimized. um, it has everything in order to give you the best experience. Anyway, in the first hour or something like this in the game, you won't really have a lot of action because you will see the story, how everything will interact here in the tutorial, and only after that you will start this. Anyway, the game is long. It has 22 chapters, and they are they will offer you a lot of beautiful experience. So in this way you will start. You are Horace this, and let's go to this professor.
And so I was born. The first people I remember seeing were the old man, the old lady, and their daughter, Heather. After they'd said hello, the old man powered me down so he could install some software.
The
I
narration,
could
it's
tell they were
made by
nice people.
Horace.
The old man didn't give me a silly voice or stupid personality. And the old lady didn't dress me like a clown. Although for some reason, Heather really didn't like me. Once I'd had time to get used to walking, the old man asked me to dash from one end of the room to the other.
This is the moment when you will learn how to play this game, and look how nice everything runs here. And this is what I said, every level is
Next,
so
the
rich
old
in
man spent a
details
couple of hours
that
building
it's a
subway
real pleasure
platforms. He
to
said he
play this
wanted me
game.
to jump up them, but I must admit, I was scared. It wasn't until I saw Heather and her mother happily climbing up them that I decided it might be okay.
So be careful. Once you start playing this, it will catch you. It has everything you need: action, adventure, um, platformer game with Metroidvania aspects, and what it matters, it has a
The
really
old
good
man then
story.
rearranged the platforms. He told me to try to reach the other end of the room without touching the floor. Heather said the floors made of lava. But when I smiled at her, she just frowned and looked away. The old lady arranged some pillows and blankets. She said it was in case I fell, but I think she just wanted it to look more like lava.
And also, what this game has compared with other games, well, it has emotions.
When I
It has
reached
a
the other
really
side, the
heart-touching
old man
story.
just
You will
smiled
see
and
this.
said, "That'll do for now."
I really don't understand why this game it's not so well known out there for the gamers, because it's a masterpiece, you know. So let's discover it here, and definitely from the beginning of this review I can tell you this. Anyway, I played for some time this game on my Switch LCD, and now I'm restarting here the game. And that's why I'm able
A
to tell
couple
you
of
my
days after those
experience, and I'm
30
able to tell
lessons,
you
the
how
family
beautiful this
reunion,
game is, and
and I was
definitely it's a
introduced to
game to
everyone
have in
else.
your
The
collection.
professor was
Very
the old
soon
man's
we will
brother.
have some
He was
events
very
here, and
quiet
you will
and
save
always
that
just
girl, and
kind of
after
staring.
that you will reach
He had
you'll
lived
get
with the
out
old
there
man for
alone in the
5 years.
world,
The
and you
house was
will
so huge that
have to
barely saw
fulfill
each other.
your
People said
last
he stayed
command
as
by
strict
this
and
professor.
leaving everything up to his butler.
Anyway, let's
He was
discover
a
it.
jerk, as he insisted everyone call him, although the professor always called him Angon. For a while, he called me a yellow bastard, but the old man made him stop, as he thought it sounded racist. Mr. Silton was the old man's driver. Before he worked here, he'd gotten in with some bad people and was the driver in a post office robbery, although it all went wrong for some reason. Mr. Silton showed me a video of his band. I'm sure some people must like it, but I just found it terrifying.
So let's see if I can skip this. No, you cannot skip the video, and that's why the first part of this game is so
When she was
long.
younger, she'd have been a TV chef. Then, years later, she had a small part in
You have to
Coronation
discover
Street.
everyone here, and you have
Mr.
to
Silton
hear
said
their
before she
story.
worked for the old man, Alice was quite a hoarder. She kept old newspapers and bicycles, and something about a poo in a shoebox. The next morning, the old man gathered everyone together to show them what I was capable of. "What else does he do?" asked Mr. Silton. The old man smiled. "He can help around the house." "Could he help me with my newspaper collecting?" asked Alice. "I'm not sure that's a good idea," said the old lady, "but he can do all sorts of jobs." "Yeah," said Mr. Silton, "shove a stick up his ass and he can do Dick's job." Now, said the old man, "we have company," pointing to some important-looking people. Two large men, both called Gary, set up what the old man referred to as lasers. He said again, I should try to get from one end of the room to the other, but I shouldn't be worried, as I had a special chip which meant no matter how damaged I was, I couldn't die. He said it was like infinite lives in a video game. But when he realized I didn't understand, he said he would explain another time.
No way. Not again. Oops.
Everybody clapped, except the important-looking men. Not exactly a cold, calculated killer, is it? Said the man in black. The man in grey laughed. What kind of artificial intelligence was that? He asked. Move right, unless there's something in the way. Okay, said the old man. He turned to me and whispered, they're going to make it quite a bit tougher, but I'm sure you'll be fine. The Garys then rearranged the room one last time. The old man smiled. Now, there's no need to look so glum, he said. I'm still happy with everything you've done today. So this time, I was determined to do him proud.
Wow, I was so lucky here.
The old man's friends actually seemed quite happy when I made it.
You know, to
We
jump
might have a
between
winner
those
after all, said the man
electrified
in
points,
black.
you
It's no
have to
Killbot
half press the
3000,
button,
but
something
you can
like
almost
this. You
see
have
the
to feel
fire
it.
in its eyes. A couple of days later, the old lady said she had a surprise for me. My own room. She also wanted to play me some music. I wasn't sure after what Mr. Silton had shown me.
And we have some music here. Let the robot to listen to it.
Believe what I saw. I watched everything I could. Comedy, drama, horror, sci-fi. Anything anyone wanted to watch, I would happily watch with them. Then one day, the old man set up a small box. He plugged some cable from the television and said, this is what I meant when I said video games.
And Horace at this moment discovered the video games. Unfortunately, I cannot escape. I cannot press escape at this point. Also, the game will have this kind of classic mini games inside. For example, look here. It seems that we have to win something like this. No way. Hey, let me pass. No way.
Heather's birthday was a couple of months later. Her mum and dad had bought her a camera and arranged a day out by the sea so that Heather could take some photos, although I really don't think she wanted any pictures of me. When the old man asked the professor if he wanted to go, he frowned and said, "I can't believe you want to spend time with that thing. It could destroy the world." I wasn't sure what he meant, but the old man just smiled and said, "That's what you said about the Game Boy." And on, "How about you?" "I don't think so," said Mr. Deck. "The last time I got in that car, Barry crashed us into a branch of Woolworths. I never would have gone into Woolworths of my own accord." The old man explained that the car was old and the brakes had failed, but Mr. Deck was having none of it. So Mr. Silton drove, and Alice came along for the fresh air. I enjoyed being outside, although the old lady kept telling me to be careful of the rickety old walkways. It felt like she was telling me off, but I think she was just concerned.
And now we will be the savior here immediately.
As the old man and I stood on the cliff tops, I could see something in the distance. I wasn't sure what it was, so I asked the old man. He said it was a battleship that had sunk in the 1940s, but he looked so sad when he spoke about war. I didn't see what happened, but the metal platform Heather was climbing on had collapsed. She was safe, even if the rocks she was on looked very dangerous. The tide was rising, and we didn't know how long the Coast Guard was going to be, so I offered to climb down and get her. The old man agreed, but said I should be careful, as Heather doesn't have infinite lives, like I do.
No way. Again from the beginning.
was unconscious, and her leg was broken, so I picked her up as gently as I could. I decided it would be best if I didn't run the rest of the way. An ambulance had arrived by the time I had made it back to the cliff top. The medics made sure
And this
it
is
was
just the
okay,
beginning
then
for
took
the
her
game
off to
here.
hospital.
Everything is just a tutorial in order to accommodate with your character, how to learn everything and to bond with this family. And basically this is the first part of the game in which you get all this. Look, you are now friends.
Once Heather got to know me, we became good friends. We enjoyed the same films and TV. She was also annoyingly good at some of my favorite games. After a while, she became very interested in how I worked. Soon she knew as much about me as the old man did, if not more. We spent the next couple of months visiting other countries, as when it came to teaching me things, the old man always liked to pick interesting locations. He would explain the basics of mathematics to me at the Great Pyramid of Egypt. Taught me history in the dead of night, surrounded by mysterious giant stones. And even showed me science in action high up in a hot air balloon. This is why I was surprised when the old man took me to a restaurant. It was nice, but it seemed very somber compared to the previous grand locations. He said he just wanted to chat, and this was nice and quiet. Plus it was his favorite place to eat. We talked about life, the universe, Douglas Adams, everything really. When I asked him why were we here, why did we exist, he just smiled and said, life is like a game, just don't expect to be finished anytime soon. When I looked puzzled, he said, well, everyone should have a purpose. So I asked him, what's my purpose? He thought for a bit, then said, so you want to be a real boy? Which just confused me even more. Eventually the old man said, for now, I want you to help clean things around the house. I must have looked unimpressed, as he then said, okay, I want you to clean 1,000,000 things. It didn't sound like the meaning of life, but I suppose you've got to start somewhere.
And we are now at chapter 2. As I said, the game has 22
The
chapters
next day,
and
the old
it has
man
a
said
lot
he
to
wanted
offer.
to install some more software, so he powered me down. When I came to, he said Mr. Silton had a joke for me, and that I should pull his finger. I don't think I got the joke, so the old man powered me down again. This time when I pulled Mr. Silton's finger, I got the joke, but it wasn't very funny. The old man then explained that he had installed a special chip which allowed me to clean away anything that was broken. He said it also tells me how many things are nearby, and how many smaller things are in a bigger thing. It all sounded very complicated, but he said all I really had to do was pause, and it would bring up all the information I needed. He then said he wanted me to find and clean all of the items in the room. He told me there would be some chains to climb, but that would be nice and easy, as I just had to press up. He then finished by saying, when I had collected all the items, I should come back here.
Now let's see if we got all the items. So what else is here? It seems that I have to still find some items here. Anyway, this is the game. We will discover it also in another gameplay. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I hope you like the game. Also, please share with us your experience by writing a comment in which you will tell us what is your experience with this game. Thanks.